An error occurred on Periscope. This is usually temporary. Wait a moment, then try again. Yeah, it doesn't really matter on Periscope, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Check. 1, 2.
Oh, it worked. Okay.
Cool. All right. Let me know when I'll hit record on my end just because I can record both of our audio. All right. I'm going to hit it. Hang on.
Go. Yeah.
Let's do a little room tone just in case for both ends. Cool. Okay, man.
Hi, TJ. What a sad intro that was.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let's start for real.
Okay.
Welcome to the combat edition of Unlimited Lives with me and Brian McGuinness.
Hey, what's going on?
Very excited to see what we can get finished. That's what I hope it is. A nice flawless victory, which would be beautiful.
Yeah. So for those that watched last week and listened, we've been going through our Mortal Kombat 1. Today is going to be Mortal Kombat 2 and finding out which moves hurt the most or which moves just kind of suck, because there's a bunch of those too, actually. And we have spreadsheets and GIFs.
So many spreadsheets and GIFs. Yeah. So if you're listening in the audio, you probably want to go check out Brian. I have to upload this to our Twitch too. You can check it on our YouTube or Twitch. You can check it on Brian McGuinness's
twitch.tv/laughatbrian. It's also on the Playable Characters YouTube page, and it's on Playable Characters Twitter @Playable Podcast.
Yes.
So check it out. We're going to be showing stuff. You can see our reactions. You can see our GIFs.
Oh, the GIFs are so great.
GIFs are great.
What great gifts you got? What gifts you gave me, Brian?
People are watching. If you're watching on Twitch or Twitter or whatever, the YouTube, give us a quick hello in the comments so we know you're there.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. We had so much fun doing the first one.
MK1 was very fun, and MK2 is one of my favorite. Is one of my favorite games for numerous reasons. It was one of the I remember seeing MK1 at the arcade in the mall when I was like 9 in 7th and 8th grade, and then when MK2 came out, I'll never forget in the Toms River Ocean County Mall, there was next to the Burger King was an arcade, and it was a long rectangular arcade, small arcade.
Yeah. And
MK2, once you walked past they had arcades all on the wall, but then they had two they had two cabinets back to back in the middle of the floor. So back in the front, back to back. And I never forget walking into MK2 was right in the front, facing the mall, and seeing 10 people surrounded by it, just watching and putting their quarters up and cheering and hooting and hollering. And I just remember watching it being like, whoa. Katana was the first character I think I played as, and she was the first one.
Because she was new, you think, or because she was hot?
She was new because she was hot. I was like, I can't contain myself. She just I don't know, I just liked her. I liked the fan move was cool. She threw the fan and it rolled and cut him up. This one was way more bloody. There was way more blood, giant thick blood droplets would go everywhere.
Yeah. I think people gravitated to Katana. She was a very popular character. I remember my first time too, because I used to go to TNF Video, a quick bike ride from my house, 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
And we played Mortal Kombat 1 there a bunch. And then I remember a few friends dude, they have MK2. I'm like, what do you mean? This is before we knew when things were coming out. It just appeared at the place. We didn't know it was coming out soon. There was no sign. So I remember showing up, parking my bike outside, walking in, and they had two arcades. I forget the other one. Might have been Street Fighter 2. And then this, and right away I was just like, it looks all right. I like an idiot, I thought MK1 still looked better, at just first glance. But then I remember picking Jax first, and oh, this is cool. This is amazing. Yeah. this is so much better.
One of my favorite 1, 2, 3 combos was with Katana was where you would do the fan wave.
Yep.
You'd do the and they would rise up. Then you would do a jump, and we talked about this in the other game too. But I think MK2 was the deep kick was a huge thing.
Yeah.
In MK2, and that meant when you jumped, you could jump kick them and hit them in the head or anywhere in their hit zone in their body. But deep kick was as low as you could hit them, and the deeper the kick you did, they would fly back. but you do the fan wave, they would raise up, you would jump and either jump and punch or jump and kick and throw the fan in the air.
Yep.
And it was my favorite, like 1-2 combo.
Mine was the jacks kick in the air, followed by the air backbreaker.
Yeah, that was
so good.
All the characters were so like, it was such a cool. Hold on, I'm gonna look up the character select screen because it was like, how many more were
there's 5 more in this one originally.
Yeah, so I'll never forget the character screen. I don't know. Am I allowed to share screens or no?
You can try it. I should have brought that up. I guess.
That's okay. No, don't worry about it. But I remember. Okay, let me see if I could do this real quick. I know if you're listening at home, you're probably like annoyed. Yeah, I think I can share. Yeah, I can. I think this is it right here.
You share. Look at this. Now I can do this.
Yeah. So so we're looking at the screen now. You have Liu Kang on the top left, Kung Lao, and this is from left to right, top to bottom. Kung Lao, Johnny Cage, Reptile, Sub-Zero, Shang Tsung, Katana, Jax, Melina, Baraka, Scorpion, and Raiden. And the thing is, when you look at this character select screen, like I'll never forget, like, you kind of knew Liu Kang, so you're like, whoa, and you kind of knew Johnny Cage, but Kung Lao, you had no idea who he was.
Yep.
You Reptile, you knew, and then you were probably like so pumped as a kid, you'd be like, you can play as Reptile. Then you would Sub-Zero, then you would Shang Tsung, but you didn't know it was Shang Tsung at first because
different. Yeah.
Then there's Katana,
more like Shang Young.
Oh, true. Then you got Jax, and then you were like, "Who's the purple ninja girl?" So you're like, "Oh, cool! There's 2 ninja girls." Then Baraka
looks completely crazy.
He looks crazy because he's got his huge teeth that they're sprited in, but then he also looks like he's wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, and then you also realize like there's no Sonya and no
Sonya,
no Kano in this one.
Kano and Sonya are not in this one, which is what they weren't missed. And then you had Scorpion had his white eyes and he looked badass with fire. And then Raiden, who also looked like sick. Raiden was so good in MK2.
Yes. My go-tos were actually the right column right there. It was Reptile, Jackson, Raiden. Occasionally Baraka, but those 3 were my go-tos.
Yeah, this game I did a lot of Scorpion, Baraka, Katana, I think were my top 3.
Yeah.
Kung Lao I did a little bit. Kung Lao now, I play with Kung Lao way more now than I did before. But I mean, that was an iconic lineup of 4. What is it? How many is that?
12.
4 times 3, 12. 12 characters. I guess I wonder if people were bummed that Kano wasn't in it, or you could take it down.
Yeah, maybe some, But,
yeah, maybe.
Hey, that's the way it goes.
The way the cookie with a K crumbles with a K.
Kano was actually ranked pretty low on the lethal factor of MK1. Actually, he had a good iconic fatality, but his moves were kind of cheesy.
Yeah. So, I guess we could start from, I guess we are starting from left to right. So if you want, we could start, I guess that's the good nostalgia factor. Like MK2, fatalities were all rib cages, bones. There was a lot of exploding fatalities.
And each person had usually 2 in this one.
Yeah, everyone had 2. I think Shang Tsung had 3, I think.
Yeah, a good hidden one that wasn't found out till months later, after it came out.
Yeah,
or maybe years later, it seems like. But yeah,
he had 3, and then this game introduced babalities, which was crazy.
Yes,
and
friendships
and this game introduced friendships.
Yeah,
so it was such a weird thing. You had a really good amount of choices to do.
Yeah,
when you wanted to finish someone,
I knew every single move, every fatality, every move from each character, every friendship, every babality. I just knew everything. I don't remember a thing anymore. You know what I mean? But I was the one who I could do whatever move that needed to be done. I had the sheet. I had my friend went on CompuServe and downloaded it, and I had them all. And I used to bring it with me sometimes, and I just study it and memorize it. And I'd play it so much that they were all just were stuck in my brain.
Well, I talked to Jeff. Jeff did Unlimited Lives with me, and we talked about Yestercades.
Yeah,
I remember playing MK2 there, and I don't know.
You had your phone up, yeah.
Dude, I had my phone up for the fatalities because also Barcade had the Mortal Kombat. Dude, and is it me or in the arcade was the fatality time 2 seconds?
It was so short.
I don't understand that. It was
so short.
It was the weirdest thing was how short the fatality time was, and I could barely pull them off.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I guess like we can, and also just to be clear, we talked about the home ports.
Right.
I think by the time MK2 came out, they were fine with blood.
They were kind of the same, yeah. So we're not going to do ports. There's nothing special.
Yeah, they were the same. I think the MK2 Super Nintendo port, I think, felt a little better than Genesis for some reason.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
It was a blast processing.
We talked about that last night. We talked about that in the episode of Unlimited Lives, me and Jeff.
Every episode has that.
Yeah, everyone does. Yeah, so this was, it was, you had a lot of stuff, and then like and then the stages we'll get to at the end, but you had the acid,
right?
The acid, these ceiling spikes, and then you had the
actual pit,
changed pit.
Yes.
Which was it was a very interesting decision, but characters were larger. I think the characters were larger in this than MK1.
They flowed better. It was just it was better in every way.
Better every way. So let's get
into it.
Liu Kang.
Louis Kang.
Louise Kang.
We'll do his moves really quick. High fireball, low fireball, flying kick, whatever. Those are the same ones. However, was there a better move the first time you saw it in the history of your life than his bicycle kick?
No, it was the funniest, weirdest move.
Yeah.
I was just like he would do, he would look like he's riding a bicycle flying across the room, and he just made like, like it was the weird. And also to do that move, I think introduced the first time in MK that I think you would hold
low kick for like 3 seconds.
Hold low kick. So so as a player, when you were playing, and if you watch the video, you can see my hands, but you would hold low kick with your pinky and kind of like jump in, punch, and then let go.
Yeah.
And it was this, and there's no combo counters in this. It's with by the way, combo counter with K. Yeah. MK3, when we get to that, is when they started adding string combos.
Yes. Do you want to do a rating for these ones?
Yeah, why don't we, since there's a lot of characters with a K, why don't we just do like, what one do you have ranked highest? I ranked bicycle kick as the most painful.
Me too. I
constantly.
I give that a 6.
Constantly with a K.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. It'd be no other way.
What'd you give it?
Yeah, which is great. So now let's get into the fun part of this whole thing.
Wait, what'd you give it? I gave it a 6.
Give it a 12.
12?
Yeah, remember I like to break my own rules.
I mean, it's no blood, but you are getting kicked repeatedly in the face a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
So
12.
Wow.
Yeah. Give it a 12, man. You ever get hit by a bicycle? It hurts. You ever get run over by a bike? It hurts. You ever have a guy pretend he's riding a bicycle and kick you? Probably hurts.
Kills.
Also, don't forget our logic for MK is like, if you're flying through the air, it's more painful.
Always.
Always, because airplanes, like if you get hit by a car, you'll be hurt, but an airplane would just destroy you.
Yeah. Sonya and Kano were smart for taking this one off.
Yeah. They took a vacation. Okay.
Yeah.
They took a big vacation. So let's get into, so Liu Kang notoriously, since MK1 was he was the most non-lethal.
Yeah.
Stupid bicycle kick, his butterfly, what is it?
Uppercut.
Cartwheel kick uppercut.
Yeah. Lame. The lamest of all fatalities.
That was only good if you were in the pit, and then it was interesting.
Right. Really bad. And he does it again in this one, though, for some reason.
Oh, wait. Oh, does he?
Yes.
Wait, do you have I forgot what this one looks like.
I do have. It looks exactly the same.
Wait a second. Oh, really?
Where is it?
Oh, my God. I forgot that he had the same thing. I guess everyone kind of had the same fatalities.
No, well, some did, yeah. But he, wait, do I not have this one?
Oh, no.
I might not even care because it's so lame.
Well, I mean, like,
yeah.
I think also like so here's the thing with Liu Kang's defense. I think also with his fatality, he could do the kick, uppercut you. And I think if you're in the pit, you fall. And if you're in the Shaolin trap ceiling with the spikes, I think you get hit.
Possibly, but he did more blood on this one when he punches you in the face. So instead of a 1 like we gave him on the first one, MK1, I gave him a 3 on this one because it's quicker and he does blast you pretty hard on this one. But that's pretty much.
This is going to drive me crazy.
What could you want to see? Hold on. I mean,
no. I just want we should have went into the stages too.
Yeah, those are good.
No, my idea is because of I want to see if you do, if you're in the pit or whatever, if it goes this. I'm looking at a video that someone legit made. Yo, YouTube TV has to stop.
With what? I have YouTube TV.
Oh, it's great. If you don't have it, they ask you every other day. Every day they're like, yo, you want this? It's like, no.
But yeah, he just did a regular uppercut.
Okay, but what happens I'm trying to find him fighting him in the pit or something.
Don't worry about it. We can't spend that much.
Oh, here we go. All right. All right. So so right now, yeah, I think if you're in the pit, if you do his, I'm watching his fatality in 2 seconds. I think he just hits you. I don't think it triggers the pit death.
You might be right. It definitely doesn't do this.
Oh, I'm watching someone play the arcade like they're literally recording on their phone, and it looks so bad. But right now, it's gonna go finish him. Oh, this dude, you loser! Never mind. He didn't even finish him. He just like,
oh boy.
I'm watching someone's just bad version of whatever.
All right, we'll stop watching videos while we're doing a podcast.
Whatever, I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had the spinning uppercut, and it was
lame.
It was lame. Yeah.
But then, he has one of the best fatalities still of all time, I think, because it was so unexpected. His main fatality in this, which is he turns into a goddamn dragon.
Oh, he turns into the Mortal Kombat dragon.
Yeah, and then eats half your body.
This one again with MK2, the theme was exploding bodies and cut in half torsos and stuff.
Yeah,
and that was their thing.
He just turned into it so fast, and I think I gave this one I gave it a 9. I probably should have been more, I guess, but I gave it a 9 because unexpected holy shit factor.
I gave it.
Yeah,
I gave it a 7. The uppercut I gave it a 0 just because. I gave it a 7, I think, but I should probably change it. I think like you'd be in shock so much seeing a dragon form in front of you that you would just.
Yeah.
Once you get bit in half, it'd be like whatever.
I mean, it would, but it still hurt like hell.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think because I think you're
right.
Because he does kind of stand there for 2 seconds, the dragon, before he's like and then he chomps you.
The other thing is like your character doesn't even like get out of being dizzy. They just
he's so shocked.
He's so in shock. But it was such a jarring. All right, you can take it down.
Yeah,
it was such a jarring thing to see as a player because like no one ever morphed into things.
Hold on,
so like Shang Tsung. It was technically the first like animality.
Yeah. And he did that for his animality too.
And I think when you heard about animalities, which only existed in MK3, there was always rumors of MK2's animalities. But when you first saw it, you were like, whoa. Then you thought like Scorpion Bird turns into a scorpion.
Yeah.
So it really was a cool, really was a cool fatality.
I think it's a really cool one. I think it's great because it was the first it wasn't like he's using a sword or his kicks. It's just like he turned into a friggin' dragon. No one else did that.
Yeah. Turns into a green, the Mortal Kombat dragon, a green dragon. I mean, it's nuts, dude. It's not even like a fire dragon or anything like that. It just was a green
ass dragon.
Legit dragon.
Yeah, very cool. I love it. I love that one. I give it a 9.
Scary. It'd be scary to like morph in your sleep. Like imagine like at a sleepover with Liu Kang. And then, like, you wake up and there's just a dragon in the room. You're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Sorry, guys. Sorry,
guys. Sorry.
It happens sometimes.
Oh, we used to, when you're a dragon, bro, you snore really bad, real bad. And he's like, oh, sorry, dude, my bad.
Dude, you ate Timmy last night.
Oh, did my bad. We can invite you nowhere, man. Oh, my bad.
So Liu Kang, good stuff. Regular, same moves. Good, excellent bicycle kick. Excellent dragon fatality.
He was a very, he was a very rounded, fun character.
He's a safe fighter to choose.
He was a safe, fun character. He was the Ryu again of MK.
His moves are the easiest. It's just forward.
Very easy. Still the flying kick. Like it was deep kick, flying kick. Like, I plays him in MK11. I think it's a weird. To me, they made him weird with a lot of nunchuck stance moves, and I think those. I think
they made him dead.
They had him dead, but you can also get this guy without. So now we move on to the other Shaolin.
Yeah.
Kung Lao, who's a new entry, and he's just a cool dude with a black hat, you see, and you're like, what is this? This guy's got a round black hat with a silver rim on it. I wonder why.
Yeah.
You want to go through his moves?
He's got 5 moves.
Yeah, he's a pretty heavy hitter. They really went in with Kung Lao to like kind of
Yeah.
round.
He's got the teleport where he goes through the ceiling, goes through the ground, and he kicks you on the way up, which I love. I give him one a 3. He's got the diving kick.
Yep, that move is awesome. I still use an MK11. It's one of my favorite moves.
It's a dick move. It works every time.
Dick move. You either jump backwards and he would skydive. He would dive into him, or you could do again the deep kick and then into that move, and it's a 1-2. Which is very good.
Yeah. I get that a 5. His hat throw. He throws his hat at you, but it's got blades.
Yep, and it was a very short round. What is it called? 007 kind of
odd job.
Yeah, so he was based on like Odd Job,
just much taller and better.
Yeah, he's based on Odd Job because his hat, and he would throw his hat, and he would throw it straight,
and you could do up or down, right?
And so you would throw his hat, and you would control it. If you throw the hat and hold up, it would arch up and or arch down, and it was really tough to control. Very latent response time, but then he would throw his hat, dude, and then it would just reappear on his head.
So good.
So it was so weird.
I wish I could just throw anything and have it reappear back in my head.
Then he did an interesting move where he would spin in place the whirlwind.
Yep.
That was good for if people were jumping at you. I think it would stop kicks or punches, like if someone jumps at you. But a good move would be to like jump in, like get close, like punch.
It's like a parry almost. Also, it's good for defense.
Yeah, almost. It was good for defense. And then I did not know he had the headbutt, but he would headbutt you with his bladed hat.
Which hurts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 pretty badass fatalities. Look at this.
That one was so good.
I give it a 9.
That one's we're talking about the hat. We're talking about the hat slice. It's one of those classic ones. He'd take his hat off. He would slice you from the top of your head to the middle of your body. You'd hit your knees, and then you would peel away.
Yeah, it's so good. It's fast. That shows you how sharp that hat really is.
Yeah, so fast. There's a bunch of crusted rib cages sticking out. A good spray of blood. I mean, it was, and again, like, the arcade is the best place to watch these fatalities, and so it's like if you're having a hankering for any of these to rewatch these, they're fun to just type in like Mortal Kombat 2 arcade fatalities and just sit there for 7 minutes or something just watching.
People have the videos, trust they're
all over the place.
They're there.
That was a very good one, and that one was like cool. That was the first time we saw a body split in half.
Yes,
besides being split from the waist, we see this is the first time and also Mortal Kombat 11 is obsessed with splitting people in half.
Yes.
MK11, there's at least 20. Someone gets cut.
Especially ripping in half. Like
they get ripped in half, or they'll be peeled in half, and they still perfect organs are holding in. MK11's great, man. I was playing it last night, but like it's it's great, dude. I can't wait for like MK12 that's going to be on like PS5, and it's going to be. I can't wait to see what that looks like.
They're working on something now, apparently.
Oh, awesome. So then after that, we have this one so I give that hat slice a 9.
Me too.
Thought it was, you're cut in half, which also kills immediately.
Yeah.
It hurts. And then, if you're still alive even for a split second, you're going to feel your body peel away.
Yeah. He cut his bones.
Oh, cut brain, bones,
everything. Next one I couldn't get a gift for. I couldn't find one. It was ridiculous. But it's the hat. It's the hat decapitation.
So
where he throws his hat at you from a distance, from across the screen.
Now, this was one of the first interactive fatalities.
How so?
Because I think I'm pretty sure when you throw the hat, you have to like tap up a couple times so the hat will go towards the throat.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't.
Might be right. Yeah.
You have to kind of aim the hat to hit them in the head.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, I mean, there's you couldn't find a gifs of it, so it's like, and even if we found a video of it, we're just gonna, you do your own deep dive for it, and I think I'll double check too. But I'm 90% positive when you throw the hat, you have to hold up so it guides up, it cuts them in the throat.
Yeah,
if you don't, I think it just hits them and they fall.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I found a picture of it, but that's
found a picture of it.
Yeah. Oh, it can't be downloaded securely. What the? All right, forget that. Whatever that means. But it's a good one. I gave this one a 7.
I think I'm trying to Google the question. I gave it an 8, and I'll be honest, I'm gonna go. I think me and you. I'm gonna give it a 7. So
Flawless victory.
So now we got a flawless victory. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 with you.
Yeah, this one's way better. The hat slice.
I mean, it's way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
You know, the head getting we've seen it. We've seen the head get taken off. You know, it's no big deal anymore at this point. This was new. It was different. It was gross.
Yeah, hold low punch, back forward, release low punch. I mean, I could be. It doesn't say you have to do it, so maybe I'm wrong. You know what you should do, dude? You should use your retro pie. Not your retro pie. Your little handheld. We're catching out.
You have one too.
Yeah, I know. I gotta really activate it.
Activate.
So
you mean turn it on?
Turn it on. Yeah, I turned it on. I have to what's it called? Like scrape it, do whatever.
You don't have to, but it helps.
I think you do the fatality when you get a chance. See if you have to hold up. I mean, I
think you're right. Maybe it was MK3, but I think you're right about that. It's coming back to me. Yeah, you have to hold up.
I mean, I'm seeing finishing moves. It doesn't say it on this IGN thing, but I feel like I don't feel like there's a reason I made that up. Like it doesn't.
Yeah. Maybe it was in 3 or the next. I mean, it wasn't in one of them. Definitely was in one of them. So
yeah,
you're not totally wrong.
Yeah, it feels like it's sticking in my brain like a thorn that for some reason, you know, there's a way to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Ready? Fandom, Mortal Kombat fandom documentary. Kung Lao's finishers for classic Kung Lao. Wait, Mortal Kombat Gold. Hold on. Okay, MK2. Here we go. Come on.
I'm gonna edit this.
Dude, I don't know if my internet is going crazy. Okay, ready? MK2 on fandom, Mortal Kombat says hat decapitation. Hold low punch, back forward, release low punch, full screen, quote, and in parentheses, try to aim the hat at the opponent's head by using up.
If not, I think it would just knock them down. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would just hit them and they would just fall. Dude, I don't know if it would, for video people. Yeah, all right, that seems back.
Yeah, no, you're a little choppy. It's okay. Yeah, it would just knock them down. You're right. So you'd have to hold up. It would go towards the head. Correct. Good call, man. You're right.
Yeah, I do remember that. And if it hit your chest, your opponent would go, and you would just fall down. Like I'm fine.
This one's still the best. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Oh shoot, we didn't. You want to do? You want to do friendships and babalities at the end, or should we do characters?
Whatever you want to do.
Let's do it through the end because we've already skipped Liu Kang. So
we're already 30 minutes and 2 characters in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this may be a part 1, part 2, or a part 3.
Yeah, we're like 6 and 6 maybe.
Yeah, because we I love talking about these characters, and I don't rush through it.
It's great. We're not rushing.
Great. So we'll go to friendships and babalities at the end with whatever characters we do.
Yes.
So
Johnny Cage.
Yes. All right. So Johnny Cage. So now Johnny Cage here, he's got shadow kick like he had from the first one.
Yep.
Then he had the low and high green bolts.
Yep.
Nut punch.
Yeah.
Then he had what was new was a shuriken like shadow uppercut.
Yeah.
That
which if you didn't know how to do it, people just were. If you didn't know he even had that, people were very mad when you did that to them.
Yeah,
what the hell kind of move is that?
Yeah, it was a great move. It was good anti-air. It was a good, like close-up move. Like it was great.
Yeah, nut punch still gets a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, nut punch I give a 10. That's my highest one. I mean, the shadow uppercut I gave a 9.
Oh, I gave it a 5, really.
Yeah, I should have gave it that. But the nut punch we both give a 10.
Yep.
Here we go.
Flawless victory.
We did it.
Nice.
Got a flawless victory. So Johnny Cage was also like, I think it was the same actor David Messina or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was the same actor that did it for MK1. And he, Johnny Cage was, he's got his glasses on. He looks cool as hell. He's a little more Hollywoody.
Yeah. You know now that he's definitely a Hollywood person. The first one you didn't really know that much unless you beat it and saw his story. But this one you can definitely tell. He's got some brutal fatalities here.
Oh, he definitely does. So we have. So he's got the yes. So this was also a weird. So he had his old school fatality, which is you can uppercut their head off just like in the first one.
Yep.
Now I don't know. if this was the first time that MK was going to start getting tongue in cheek, or if this was a glitch, or if this was a glitch that they thought was like, whatever, let's keep it in. How did you remember how you do the 3 heads?
I thought you had to keep pushing a button or something like that. I thought it was something that easy.
Basically, he uppercuts their head off, and then he stays down. He uppercuts. For some reason, another head just appears right before he punches it. Then another head appears right before he punches it.
Yeah, you can punch 3 heads off.
3 of their heads off.
Yeah.
You know, let me look.
It's really good. And then he takes out his sunglasses and cheers himself. He's very excited that he did this.
Yeah, he's so excited.
Very, very gross. Very classic. So it's I gave it an 8 though, because he does just again punch your fucking head right off,
dude,
which is going to hurt so bad.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. Just on a side note, bro. Mortal Kombat Center on Fandom.com has like all their fatality special moves from like all the games. Very good. Oh my god, Jesus! Hold on, I'm trying to see the. It's just, dude, my internet is going. Okay, here we go.
Stop looking things up.
Forward, down, up.
Yeah.
If you want to do a triple decapitation, you do forward, down, up, and right after performing the first one, you hold low punch, low kick, and block.
Oh, okay.
You hold those 3 buttons, and he will immediately start uppercutting 3 different heads.
That's great.
Well, 3 of the same heads.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know. It's so weird. I wonder if it was a joke or a goof or a glitch and they left. I'm not sure.
Ed Boon, get on our podcast. Tell us.
I know, right?
But good, very, very good fatality. His next one, oof. I thought this one was so brutal, this one, where the torso ripoff.
So bad.
Look at that.
I mean,
and after he just throws it away is so gross. So he just, first of all, I don't know how your legs don't come up with it. Like in the new one, in MK11, he would nail their feet to the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or you staple them to the ground and then rip your body. This one, he just rips your torso right off.
I think what we're not seeing on screen is that he makes sure that you have to defeat the character while they're standing in bubble gum.
Yes, right. The old cement trick. They did.
Yeah, the old cement trick.
So, and the spine's hanging out. It's really, really a good one.
It's really a good one.
I like it. I gave this one a 8 as well. Probably should, maybe I feel like that should be a 9, to be honest. I'm making it a 9.
I gave it an 8.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of a struggle, and then like, oh man, it's really gross. I love it. He rips it, and then he turns away and just throws it away from you, so you can't even crawl to your legs and put yourself back on your body. He throws it away. He looks so mad. He's like, geez. He's so mad.
He picks up. He's like, geez.
He's like, it finally worked. Gross.
Yeah, like, I hate you.
Yeah, it's a really great fatality right there.
I mean, I'd be afraid for Johnny Cage to, self-gratify himself because he probably would pull his penis right off.
Oh, that's a good point.
He got mad enough.
He really.
Yeah. He really also, like, if he's eating like chicken and someone's like, "Can someone cut the chicken in half?" He's like, and he just pulls the top of the chicken off.
And you got to like stretch a balloon before you blow it up. He'll rip the balloon right in half.
Mm-hmm.
He can't play trombone. Let me tell you that.
Nope. He's trying to batteries out of the remote, and he just rips the remote in half. He's like, "Oh man!"
He'll rip that trombone right in half too.
When anyone in the room goes like, "Finish him," and he's like, "No, don't do that," and he just cuts whatever in half. He's like touching. Pulls the door off his car. He's like, "God damn it!"
This happens all the time.
This happens too much. Yeah, it really was a crazy when I first saw it. It's a very interesting rips, and this is again, like I said, this was the trend of Mortal Kombat with the, he also grabs them. He grabs them at first by their pecs, breasts, and then
I do like that extra motion, that extra animation where he moves down a little bit.
Yeah,
like he's tickling your armpits right here. It looks like first, right?
Yeah.
First he does a little.
He goes tickle.
That's how and then like
yeah,
and then psych.
You know what it is, dude? It really might be. Maybe he tickles the guy so much that the guy loosens his torso from laughing, and then he rips the torso off.
I'm
ready? Tickle, and then he goes and rips it off. If you want to see what I'm talking about, like I said, go on Brian's
twitch.tv/laugh at Brian.
Laugh at Brian. You can watch that, and I'll pop this on the.
Pop it.
Twitch and the YouTube. Well, the YouTube's probably is an easier place to have this.
Yeah.
Twitchy poops.
So great fatalities for Jonathan Cage.
For Jonathan cage.
Yeah. Who's next?
Let's see. We got 3, 6. We have 9 left. So I would let's do halfies and then do the next part 2 with halfies.
Sure. Let's do Reptile.
Yeah, let's do Reptile. Now, Reptile, as well as you all know, Reptile was a secret character in the pit of MK1.
Yep.
I think you fought him when was Toasty in that? No. You had to do it was a whole way to get Reptile. It was a whole thing to, like, get him. When you fought Reptile, I think he had didn't he have Scorpion's moves and Sub-Zero was like both?
Yeah, and it looked like just red, just green.
Oh, you know what? I think he had Scorpion's moves and he would do a Sub-Zero slide was the ad. Sure. I think. So, it was, he was crazy to see. It was just a green ninja. It was just a, reskin. This is Reptile when you see him. Because he's in the character select screen. He's just a green ninja with a human face.
Yes.
That later we find out through his moves and fatalities.
He's
actually a mask.
He's actually a reptile.
Yeah, that he's wearing like a human face mask. That's not a real thing. So like this was the first one. He had some great moves. Now, since he's one of your favorites, why don't you tell about the moves and talk and touch on a little.
Yeah. So
great moves.
Acid spit. This is when we see his reptile face for the first time. He just rips off his mask and spits acid at you. Gave it a 7. That's gonna hurt.
He pulls it. Oh my god, dude. Me too.
Flawless victory.
He pulls the front of his mask down, and then a whole layer of face is revealed, and he spits the acid. It hits the smoke comes off. Yeah. He was forward, low punch, I think.
Forward, high punch, I believe. But either way, super easy to do.
Very easy to do.
Yeah, and it was quick, it was fast. Didn't take an awful lot of energy, but it was a really good, quick, fast projectile.
Yeah.
He has a slide as well.
Just like yep.
Just gave it 2. It's not that hard. It's not that powerful.
Yeah, why I gave the slide 8. I might have had this still in where I was doing it for like gameplay wise, but the slide is on. Yeah, I should have defended an 8. No, it's an 8, Brian. Have you ever been tripped? It hurt.
One of the most unique moves, I believe, is his force ball.
Yep.
Right? It's a slow. First of all, it was hard. It was not easy to do. It was back, high and low punch, I believe, right? Or high or low.
Yeah.
So back. And he would go whoom, and a slow moving yellow ball would go towards you.
Create like energy with both hands in a slime.
Love it.
And create a slow floating ball that would come towards you.
It would go boom. You would explode and get flipped up in the air, which would 99% of the time end in an uppercut as well.
Yeah.
So it was a great combo.
Great combo.
When it hit people, when it was going slow, I'd always laugh. I always look like, what is wrong with you? This is the easiest move to block.
Yeah.
You're getting hit by this?
Yeah, it was a very good. And the thing was that, you would do that and they would explode and front flip towards you.
It was great. It was so good. And then first I get that a 7 because I think that the force ball hurts a lot. It's like a boom and it flips you in the air, so it's gotta hurt.
Yeah. I gotta move my car. Can you give me 2 seconds?
Okay. Right now?
Just hold on a minute.
Just write down the time stamp. Hey everybody, as TJ goes to move his car, I will sit here and talk about Reptile for a little bit. He was such a cool character. I still use him today. I don't like when they made him too much of a reptile for some reason. I liked him when he was the ninja. You didn't really know what he was. We'll talk about the invisibility move when TJ gets back. TJ is doing his own invisibility right now, which is great. But I loved going invisible. It would fool people all the time. They didn't know where I was. And I usually just I would slide back and forth. That was my move. And occasionally hit him with a force ball if they weren't, if I knew I could pull it off quickly. But yeah, it was he had a lot of cool moves. I'll give you a quick sneak peek of the fatalities for those watching. There's that one, and there's this one. Yum, yum, yum. Great fatalities. I love it a lot. We'll talk about that more when TJ comes back from his potty break. I guess I'll take a little break too, because this is hilarious that he had to leave. It's not even his car. I don't know what he's talking about. What is he talking about? But thanks for joining us. Twitch.tv/laugh@Brian. When you listen to this, you can go watch the video there. It's very fun. All right. So people are watching. Oh, I hear something. I think I hear a TJ. Or it's an invisible reptile. Oh, he just appeared right there. Look at him.
Can't wait to move.
It's not even your car. I love it. You okay?
Yeah.
Write down 38 minutes. You can edit this out if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't mark it on this. Cool. What is it? 38?
Yeah, right around there.
Where were we at?
One of my favorite, most unique moves is Reptile's invisibility.
Yes.
I love doing this. I used to do it all the time. I would fool everybody, and I would like to slide back and forth when I was doing the invisibility.
You know, the thing with the invisibility thing was you couldn't see
nothing. It wasn't even like a Terminator. No. I mean, like a Predator. It was nothing, which I like. I like that a lot, actually. Because when you're invisible, who cares? Like if you can see the outline.
Yeah, you were completely invisible.
It was great.
And you couldn't see where you were, so you would just either, and then you would do the acid spit, and it would just be a little reptile face, like
right, little face.
Yeah, or the force ball, you'd see. Blah, blah, blah,
yep.
You know?
Yep. So, that's why I would do the slide, because you couldn't see anything.
I would love to know like strategically what the point of that was. Like, I know you couldn't see, but I wonder what a good tactic was. Like, be invisible and just, you know, like move slowly so they don't know where you are, because you couldn't stay invisible long once you were hit,
right,
or blocked and got hit.
Right, but I think it's good for people who aren't that good, obviously, and you could kind of fool them, and you could jump straight in the air. You could jump towards them, backwards. You don't. If they're looking at your stick, you can kind of hide that somewhat. Yeah. But that's why the slide worked so well, because if they were jumping around, you could slide as soon as they landed and get them all the time.
The slide, if anyone shoots a projectile up top, you know,
yes,
slide under it and stuff.
Yes, really yes. For most of them, so I love doing invisibility.
Yeah. So then, you know, this is, you know, Reptile, like I said, was one of the. You know, this is our first creature.
Yeah.
In this, that's, you know, is a half, you know, like we think he's human when you pick him.
Yep.
And then you find out that he's a real lizard.
He really is.
Yeah.
He's got two badass fatalities, I think.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of invisibility, this one, he would turn invisible, and then he just cut you in half.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, you have no idea how he's doing it.
We don't know what he's doing. It's just like it's got to be so shit your pants scary. This one.
Yeah, and he however he cuts you, you're the front of your torso just flies up and around and down.
Is he behind you then? I guess. I don't. He must be behind you.
No,
no,
because he reappears in front of you. No, because to me he would be on the other side.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I mean, I wonder what he's using to. You know what I think he's using? Like, I don't know. Maybe he is he's got human gloves on and he has claws and he's ripped.
2 can openers, just kind of pops you out.
Yeah, he's got a butter knife hidden somewhere. And
yeah, it's a really good fun one.
It's a great one. It's a mysterious one. There's also when you, I don't know which version this is, but there's one. You know, I think this either the Super Nintendo version, whatever. Big blood bubble just falls and splits on the ground. And then the body, you know, the torso's laying, it's like chunks of meat, and then the spinal cord.
This one's cool too, because there is a couple seconds after he turned invisible. Like, what is he gonna do? You know, you don't know what's happening. All of a sudden,
yeah. He throws the bomb down. There's a couple seconds, the screen turns black. You're like, what's gonna happen? And then, and they just, you know,
really fun.
Cuts him in half. Fall.
Really.
The leg's still standing, you know, straight up for the whole time.
They have to.
Again, standing in gum and just stuck.
And then his other one, which seems right on, very.
That one a 5 because I don't know what it is.
Oh, I gave it a 9 just because
I gave it a 5.
Interesting.
I was just like, I don't, you know, I don't know what he does. So it's like all of a sudden, you know, you're dead before you know what's going to happen.
It might be true. Yeah.
Maybe.
This one, which is so on brand for him, I think, where he eats your body with his tongue. Look at this one.
Oh,
so
right.
It's so great.
Now, if you're watching this again, like I said, you know, even if you don't, you know, check out Brian's YouTube page, but even if you Google, like I said, treat yourself to watching a bunch of these. Wait a second. That's MK3.
Oh, shit. Is it?
Yeah, that's MK3.
It is. It's the same. Okay. In 2, he just bites your head off. It was hard to find this gift too.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. So basically, but
Sorry,
I think
this one he just eats your head.
it's fine. But we at least see like he pulls the face mask off, and you can see, even in the first one, you can see it's a reptile head, and then he and then eats the head only. Oh, spoiler for MK3, but whatever.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was wondering because I saw Cyrax, and I was like, wait a second.
I didn't even realize because it was so hard to find some of these for some reason.
That's okay. So he eats your head, and then I think doesn't he rub his tummy like yum?
Maybe he should. It's yummy. Tummies are yummy.
What do you think head tastes like?
I have no idea. Probably it's hard, it's crunchy and mushy. It's like a what the chalupa? It's like a chalupa. It's got the hard shell inside the soft shell taco.
Oh, I thought it was like a Gushers.
Maybe like that
too. Like you bite into it and it's got the juice.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm watching the video MK1. It's the same reptile head. And he does the yummy sound. So I'm watching it now.
He just eats your head off, right?
Yeah, he rips he goes, here's my favorite part of it. He goes, you're ducking. So he rips the mask off, but then he looks at the camera.
Yeah.
So he rips the mask off and he's looking sideways and he goes,
yeah,
looks at the camera, and then his tongue flies across and just eats the head off. And then he does the hand yummy sound. He does the hand yummy thing.
Yeah, it's great
for you to know that head is yummy.
I gave it an 8. This one.
Let me see. I gave it a 10. I'm also putting in the ick factor.
Yeah,
that you have this humanoid reptile's like gross tongue. Like one thing is like you're dizzy, and then let's say you come out of it, you see this ninja you were fighting who was human.
Yep.
Unless you caught him ripping his mask off. But I think in the heat of battle, you're so confused. But you see him rip his mask off, then he mugs to the camera, and you're upset that he's mugging to the camera. And then all of a sudden you see this gross tongue hit your whole face, which slimy, sticky,
gross,
probably burning.
Yeah.
Made of acid. So it's burning, and then he rips your head off, and you're still alive as your head goes down his digestive system.
All solid points.
Yeah, that's why I give it a 10. Invisislice, I give it 5, but I give this one a 10.
I'm switching mine. I'm doing this one a 9, Invisislice an 8.
Oh, interesting.
Really, really good points there. Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, look at and then this one. It looks, look, they're all painful.
They all are.
Those are really good points. All right.
Very
good. You win reptile. Good.
Yeah,
good job.
I think, and also like we keep going. I think Shang Tsung, we can stop part 1 of Shang Tsung after Shang.
Sure.
We can start with Katana, my favorite. So let's so we got into, and we'll go into the friendships to babalities at the end of this episode. All through.
Okay.
So we have, following up our second ninja, we have a crowd favorite.
Yep.
Sub-Zero. By the way, just on a side note, he still looks like Sub-Zero, just like a ninja.
A little brighter.
I say that because we know in MK3 he looks like a weird Sub-Zero army person because
he's just a man.
It's his brother and not Sub-Zero, because Sub-Zero turns into Noob Saibot, I think, at the end of this. At the end of MK2 lore, I think he turns into Noob Saibot.
So much lore.
So much, dude, too much lore. So, we got Sub-Zero. He was one of my, Scorpion was one of my favorites, but I really love Sub-Zero. So we have Freeze Ball, which was the old school Hadouken, ice ball.
Yep.
That would hit you. We have a slide.
Yep.
And then he only has 3 moves. And one of my favorites and one of the most interesting, the ground freeze, where he would freeze a spot in front of him and himself on the ground. A little puddle of ice. And your opponent would either would walk on it and start, comically, and then they would fall.
Yeah. Or you'd freeze them, you'd uppercut them, you do something.
And they would start tripping towards you.
Yeah.
You could uppercut freeze or back high kick. You would do the spinning round kick. That was also a good in place of an uppercut.
Yes.
Doing that. But the ground freeze was great because it was a good anti-air move. If someone jumped towards you, you would freeze the ground. You're like, oh no. And you would hit it and start slipping.
Yep. That gets a 1 in lethality, but like a 9 in embarrassment. Because you slipped on ice before. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, I give it a 9 because it's slipping on ice hurts.
But if you slip on ice in public, it's so. And plus, you're in the middle of a tournament right here. People are watching you. It's very embarrassing.
I mean, a bunch of people are watching you, and then all of a sudden you're like, slipping like an idiot, like on a banana peel, and Then you're making that noise. Whoa, 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 you know,
like some 80s sitcom dad. Oh, some bumbling idiot.
Son opens the door and smiles with Shang Tsung. You know, I thought it was a very, you know, the ground freeze was a good addition. But like I said, like Kung Lao has the most so far. He's got the most moves.
Oh,
Kung Lao
and Johnny also. Johnny
Sub-Zero has 3.
Yeah, and they're very weak, actually. They're not...
Yeah, the ice ball doesn't hurt you. The ground freeze doesn't hurt you. And the slide is okay.
Yeah, and his fatalities are actually not that great either, I think.
They're really not. So do you have the gifs of them?
I got this one right here where he freezes you, and then he just goes, pow!
Yeah, so this fatality as we're going in, Sub-Zero does a deep freeze. You're covered in ice, and he uppercuts your torso, like leaving the legs again. And you would explode. This is one of the first ones we're seeing, me and Brian, in this episode, of the exploding body parts that usually is like 4 rib cages, bunch of intestines and bones.
So many intestines.
Yeah, and there was times that they would they would add all these rib, and everything was gray and stone looking.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
And there wasn't that much blood, and
well, you're frozen. Yeah.
You know, you're frozen. Yeah, you're frozen. But it was fine. I agree with Brian. It was, this was the first time they're trying to, Ed Boon and them are trying to utilize Sub-Zero's freezing mechanic. All right, you get to Sub-Zero's freezing mechanic of in the first one, he was an ice ninja and he would just rip your head off. So in this one, I think their choice is probably like, well, he should do freezing stuff, but also, this as well as I do. It's like Johnny Cage's his uppercut fatality. Liu Kang is his cartwheel uppercut. So you would think after you see that fatality with Sub-Zero, I'm like, well, they're going to have he's going to have some kind of head rip.
Well, in Super Nintendo,
also, what do you give this ice shatter? I give it a 2. I feel like you're so
wow,
you don't feel anything.
I give it a 5. It's all right.
I feel like you're so cold, you don't feel anything.
You don't, but you're still exploding.
You do. I mean?
So that's why I give it a few more points. Yeah. But in the Super Nintendo, in MK1, he froze and did the pow, did like the back punch, and you tinkle down.
Yes, and that's a great thing to say, because you're right. It's like it seems like it's taking from that, because you'd freeze them and then just back punch them and they would just shatter.
Yeah. His next fatality I could not find any gifs of, where he the ice grenade.
All right.
Oh. Yeah. He just throws the grenade, an ice ball at you, and you just explode. Was that all that happens?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up now.
But this one, I give that one a 6, because even again, you're cold, but he does throw something at you, kind of embarrassing, and then you explode from it.
I love that you add embarrassing, it's like this is really embarrassing. You explode.
Sub-Zero's a real.
This person's showing
He's a real dick.
Sorry, my choppy internet. I don't know what's going on. This is. Let me see. I'm gonna watch it right meow. So. Okay, yeah. So you're across the room. So Sub-Zero's across the room. The screen goes black. Looks like a high punch is how you do it, because this person hits it. He leans back and creates this small ice ball.
Yep.
And he throws it across the room, and it lands inside your chest.
Right.
You shake a little bit, and then you again torso from waist up explodes.
Yeah.
With
I don't get this one. I didn't really like this
2. Right now, I'm looking at 3 pelvises, 4 femurs, 4 chunking body part arms, and a bunch of weird intestines.
Yeah.
I mean, they just they filled these characters with I understand like in MK11 they do where you blow up. They can do the each arm, each foot, because so I get back in the day you can't really do that. There's not enough blast processing power,
enough memory
to do it. Yeah. So I give that one a 7.
I give it a 6. It's very similar to his other one. They're both very kind of similar things.
Yeah, they're similar. I give it a 7. I feel like when it enters you, it's probably cold. And I don't know if you've ever touched ice with your hands. You're like, it hurts.
I have. Isn't that crazy?
It hurts. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
They could have brought the torso rip back. They could have froze. Maybe froze you and then rip your head off, and I don't know, something cool. But
I mean, even freeze your head and rip your head and smash it. It's just
there you go.
There's it's and also there's no move for that. If Sub-Zero had an ice grenade move,
right,
where he threw a thing that hit you and you bounced Sub-Zero's acid, at least it makes sense. But it's you see him do this and your head, you're like, well, where's this move all? Now it's a fatality. Where's this move been the whole time?
Yeah,
So,
I don't know how it makes you explode.
yeah,
Doesn't make sense.
I gave it a delicious 7.
All right, so there we go.
So that brings us to Shang Tsung, our last character for this episode, and then we're gonna go. We'll backtrack and go through the babalities. They're cute, and the friendships are very fun. Babalities, there's not much, but
right. So he really had.
These.
He kind of had one move, but he also kind of had 300 moves.
Oh yeah, he did. So so Shang Tsung.
Who I did like a lot. I did use him quite often too.
Yeah, and MK1. Did he transform into you in MK1 or other characters? I forgot.
No.
He just fought.
Maybe. I forget. Well, you can't, you didn't play him in MK1. It was Goro.
Oh, okay. So it's the first time, like, we don't know Shang Tsung. If you let the arcade play, it'll show you why he's young. So he does. Yeah, he has flaming skulls.
Yeah.
That fly across the room. They didn't hit the floor, did they?
No, he had either one flaming skull, 2 flaming skulls, or 3 flaming skulls.
Or he can morph into, and this is why Shang Tsung was so fun.
Yes.
He can morph into any character on the roster.
And TJ, let me tell you something.
What?
You better fucking believe I did. I morphed
into
everybody. I knew every morph. I would fuck with everybody. I'm like, who do you want? Jax? All right, here's Jax. Boom. Who do you want? Katana? Here she is. Boom. I would fuck with people so much. They'd be like, what a nerd. You know every single morph. Like,
he was a very interesting character because like you couldn't be the character for long. I feel like the developers knew he was kind of broken because you could just keep morphing into like, Scorpion, or you couldn't morph into like Scorpion, pull them towards, then morph into Jax, and like you couldn't do those things.
That'd be cool.
It would, but you would just be able to morph into different characters. So I guess like whatever flavor you felt, which meant if you're fighting someone who is, using a lot of projectiles or who's like getting too close to you, you might want to morph into Jax for a little bit of the round just to get, okay, you want to be close? All right, I'll be a close, whatever.
Yeah.
So he was like, he was really cool. The morph, I give it 10 because
you kind of have to. It's either a 1 or a 10. You're probably right because.
Yeah. And then the flaming skulls, 3 of them I did 8. If one of them is an 8, 2 is a 9, and 3 is a 10. Get hit by 1, 2 are gonna hurt, 3 is gonna hurt.
I did 5, 6, 7.
8, 9, 10.
8, 9, 10. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he was, it was really good. And Shang Tsung, like it was an interesting choice because I think in this game, Shao Kahn was the villain. Yep. So, you were playing as Shang Tsung, who was the original boss in the game, and now you're fighting Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Who's like that. So, Shang Tsung, he also had he had 2 decent fatalities. Which one you want to touch on first?
If you want, I think they're both kind of cool.
They are both cool. Do you have a gift for one of them we can start?
Let's see. We got some right here.
He has 3, you said, right? He's got 3.
Oh, wait, shit. I've
That's okay.
I had the friendship by accident.
Brian played the friendship. He creates a rainbow and then cuts you in half with a rainbow.
Yeah, I couldn't even find, because they have to be under a certain megabyte, a certain size, and I couldn't even find. Hold on, let me see if this one fits. It was so hard to find one that actually was small enough to fit on StreamYard. That was the
what is small enough?
Yeah, because some are too big. But he's got the one where he'll pick you up.
I pulled up the video, so I'll be able to watch them. So at least we can I can describe them.
I got one. Do you want to do the hidden one first, since I have that one right now?
Let's get to that one because that one's the best one. So so Shang Tsung, we'll do the soul steal. I have it pulled up. I could see it.
Okay.
Basically, Shang Tsung grabs your lifeless body, your dizzy body, lifts you up, holds his hand out like this, and then proceeds to you. There's a green aura, like a green glow, which is probably your soul energy, and he pulls the green energy is around you, then it goes into your hand, and then what's left is a lifeless green moldy corpse.
It's really gross. Here we go. Check this out. Look
at you found it. Yeah, there it is.
It's great. It's great.
It's great. It's it's not as violent. It's interesting. It's like you could see the guy transforming from you see the character transforming from like human to like this weird rotten skull, and it just shows you like that's what we look like without our souls. Is we're just moldy, rotten things.
Yeah. It's What? Go ahead.
No, that's it. It's a good one. Shang Tsung with his little MC Hammer pants and his yellow suspenders.
I think it's really good. It's evil, isn't it? This one's like really evil.
Yeah,
to do this because
your soul is mine, as he said in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Your soul is mine.
Soul is mine. Do you have his next? So the next,
I sure do, buddy. Here we go.
The next one is super weird.
Yeah,
because it's this is again, he basically he does a wind up where he ducks back and then he's able to fly and shrink into your head.
Does he go? Apparently he goes in your ear, but it looks like he goes up your nostril, maybe your mouth. It's supposed to be your ear.
Yeah,
right?
I think he goes in your ear because the version we're watching on the GIF might not be the arcade.
Yeah,
he goes in your ear and I guess
reforms himself, which makes you completely explode.
Yeah. So then there's like tons of, and then there's a big circle of meat, bones.
Every bone.
Everything. Yeah. It's just meat, bones, and everything just flying through, 5 femurs, two pelvises, 4 rib cages, like, everything. Yeah. And it's just, it's a gross, and then he stands there with no blood on him.
Right.
He's just clean.
Maybe he morphed into clean clothes after that.
yeah, he morphed into clean clothes.
Before he leaves, he always touches his pantry. I mean, his wardrobe, just in case.
Your clothes are clean.
I gave this one a 9. I gave the Soul Suck a 5, even though because I think it doesn't hurt as much, but I do think it's fucking nasty.
Yeah, I give
this one I think hurts a lot.
Yeah, the Soul Feel, I gave it 2. Inner ear, I should give higher. I give it an 8. I feel like it's gross to know that a man is forming himself inside you. And then what did you give this, the inner ear?
Inner ear, I gave a 9.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty gross, but I feel like it's not as gross, but it's just like you imagine being in a fight and then you just see some guy duck down and shrink and you feel like, like for a second, it probably feels good because you ever clean your ears and you're like,
it's the best. It's the best.
Like you feel that like, in your ear. And then all of a sudden, your stomach hurts and then your chest hurts. And then all of a sudden you're like, you stand out like their arms are outstretched. Your opponent's arms are, stretched out like they're going to hug you.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what's going on? And then boom.
I do like that he has to like wind up. Look how he does a little lean back. It's so funny that he's got like lean back before he shrinks and turns and goes into
I love the lean back. And here we go. Like he's got to wind up. If he does, he's just gonna jump towards and slap you in the face. And he's like,
oh, sorry, I didn't wind up enough. I'm still the same size.
Sorry.
I'm still normal size.
Still normal.
Or just like half the size that he can't fit. He's like just his legs are sticking out of your ears because he didn't shrink enough.
No. And he's like, and he goes in like that. So it's an interesting ability to do that because then he can hide in mason jars.
There you go.
He can hide anywhere. Like if someone comes over, he can just hide into
he's also got a third fatality, which was like I think discovered months and months and months later after it actually came out.
Yeah,
which I think is one of the coolest ones.
Yep.
Because it was very unexpected. A lot of people didn't beat the game in the arcade. It was very hard.
No. It was very hard because you had it was the difficulty was hard, and then you're expecting to fight Goro, and you don't. You fight another character called Kintaro, who is a 4-armed with tiger stripe looking creature.
Yeah, wouldn't you like to play as him? Well, you can for about 2 seconds.
Yeah,
because if you hold, I believe it's low punch for 30 seconds in the final round, you can morph into Kintaro and just punch your opponent's body off.
Yep, and it's Kintaro from the game that you fight. Shang Tsung morphs. He leans back screaming and then punches you with his top arm.
It was such a cool, unexpected fatality. People didn't when this came out and I knew about it. Man, did I do this all the time? People were like, what the? It was so cool.
It was so awesome.
Perfect 10, I think. I give it a 10 because it's the holy shit factor, the wow factor.
Yeah.
And it's going to hurt so much if he just punches your body off.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kintaro is frightening. I gave it.
Yes. You gave it 10?
I gave it an 8.
Oh, 8. Okay.
I feel like it's frightening, but I feel like there's more deadlier stuff. So we talked about in this game, that you could also turn, like I said, you could also friendship them, so you could just do these funny, weird friendship stuff, and you can also turn everyone into babies. Now, the babalities we don't have to really go through. Some of them look weird.
Yeah, those are all the babalities are all the same, pretty much.
Yeah, the babalities, like, we don't have to go into, like, running down. Liu Kang had a headband and he looked like he had a scary little face on. Kung Lao has a giant hat on. He's tiny. His hat's big. Right. Johnny Cage is a cool baby with sunglasses. He's a cool baby. Reptile Sub-Zero just have a little mask on, and then Shang Tsung hat is just a baby with his little hat. He should have had a mustache.
That'd been fun,
but he didn't. So that's the Babe Alleys. Let's get into the friendships before we wrap this one up.
Okay.
Which is very good. We can start wherever you want.
Whoever, go for it. Let's go back. Let's start at the
first one. Since we saw it,
Okay, yeah, that's the one I had.
And the friendships were weird when you first saw him because the screen would go black, and you're like, oh no, you're like, oh no, and then,
which one was the mercy? Was that animality or was this? Was that
3?
Okay, so this one you could just do a friendship, or you couldn't block, I believe.
Yeah, and I think this one, MK3 is when the announcer would say friendship.
Yeah,
it was this one. It might have been this one.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but there was one that the announcer would be shocked at friendship, like he's reading the lines in the booth, and it's like
friendship. Yeah,
friendship. Like
first time he read it. Yeah.
So Shang Tsung, he puts his hands together above his head and creates a rainbow and smiles.
Yep.
Which is very cute. It's like, all right, how fun.
Very pride friendly, way ahead of its time.
Very pride friendly.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to Sub-Zero and Reptile. Let's do, because if you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Okay.
So pull up whichever one you want.
I have no other ones. No other friendships.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Yeah.
So Sub-Zero, the weird thing about Reptile Sub-Zero is they would pull a tiny doll out and it would say, buy a Sub-Zero doll.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest thing. It's like, buy a Sub-Zero. It was like, and they didn't sell those toys yet. Like Mortal Kombat toys were based on the movie and a little bit on the game, but there wasn't you couldn't like send away for a reptile that was like, buy a reptile doll. And it was like, so funny that Sub-Zero, all the ninjas are into capitalism. They're like, hey man, I'm just trying to make a living. You know what I mean?
Bucks. It's a tough business. They barely pay us well to do this.
Yeah. I almost got killed 5 times. And tell you what, you guys want to, it's just funny that they're selling merch like the ninjas or comics.
I love it.
Selling their DVDs after a show.
That's really funny.
Johnny Cage, of course, his friendship, he signs you an autograph and gives it to you or holds it up. Which is very nice of him. Kung Lao's is very funny. He pulls a rabbit out of a hat, which is funny. He does look like a magician. And then Liu Kang does a very awkward disco dance.
I loved it.
Weird disco dance, and it's so stupid. So friendships were such a fun way. You also you had to win the last round without hitting block in order to do a friendship.
So it's a bit of a brag also,
It's a bit of a brag, yeah. So it kind of was like a 1-2, like, yo, you're so bad, I didn't have to block at all. Also, here, let's be friends. So there were times that you would fight in the arcade and you wanted to get killed, and then someone would do a friendship and you were like, oh, come on, man. Like, sometimes it was funny and sometimes it was, it really was like a spit in the face.
Yes.
Yeah. How fun. So I'm excited for part 2. We're going to touch on Katana, Jax, Melina, Baraka, Scorpion, Raiden, some of the stages. How fun, Brian. What a cool with a K episode.
So cool.
Next week. Peace.
Bye.
Flawless victory.
Cool. All right. I'll hit record again.
You want to do the second one right now?
Yeah. Do you want to? If you can, okay.
Yeah, let's not.
That's fine. Don't you worry. That's okay, man. I should split anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I should be home next Tuesday. I should be home